In museums and private collections around the world, there exist life-sized skulls carved entirely from quartz crystal. No one knows exactly who made them or how. Some say they are ancient Mesoamerican artifacts. Others claim they are modern fakes. But one thing is certain: the crystal skulls are among archaeology's most enduring mysteries. The most famous is the Mitchell-Hedges Skull, allegedly discovered in Belize in the 1920s by a young girl exploring the ruins. It is carved from a single block of clear quartz, with such precision that even modern tools would struggle to recreate it. Legend has it that while exploring the ancient Maya city of Luba, the British crystal hunter and adventurer Frederick Albert Mitchell-Hedges discovered an entrance leading into a secret cavern. Inside was a crystal skull so perfectly carved that it appeared supernatural. Today, the skull is owned by the British Museum and remains one of the most popular artifacts in their collection. Yet, the story surrounding its discovery is likely pure fiction. There is no record of Mitchell-Hedges ever traveling to Central America, let alone finding a skull in a secret cave. Instead, it was probably found on the surface by looters. The artifact's origin is unknown, but its discovery is well documented. On December 17, 1927, Mitchell-Hedges brought the skull to the attention of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of the famous detective Sherlock Holmes. The two men set out to prove the skull was authentic. They traveled to New York, where X-rays revealed a horrifying truth. The skull had been hollowed out, suggesting it was an elaborate fake. Nevertheless, Conan Doyle remained convinced the skull was real. He helped Mitchell-Hedges sell it to the Daily Express newspaper, which paid over £10,000 for the skull, the equivalent of over £200,000 today. Mitchell-Hedges kept half of the payment and gave the rest to his partner, Anna Mitchell. After it gained international attention, they returned the skull to Central America. However, there is no evidence that this ever happened. According to some sources, the skull was stolen by thieves who wanted to capitalize on its notoriety. Eventually, the skull surfaced in the possession of Charles Deering, an American millionaire, who donated it to the British Museum in 1943. Regardless of its origins, the Mitchell-Hedges skull is unquestionably ancient, possibly dating back to the classic Maya period between 250 and 900 AD. However, its age is the only thing that most experts agree on. How were these skulls made? Quartz is extremely hard to carve, and yet the skulls show no tool marks. Some suggest they would take centuries of hand polishing, but that does not explain how the artisans achieved the perfectly smooth curves and fine details. Others believe lost technology may have been involved. This includes theories about advanced tools used by ancient cultures or extraterrestrial intervention. Supporters of these claims often cite the alleged crystal skull's incredible precision, which they argue would be impossible to achieve without the aid of powerful tools. Legends also claim the skulls were left behind by ancient civilizations, or even visitors from beyond our world. According to one story, there are 13 crystal skulls scattered across the globe. When united, they will reveal secrets about humanity's past and future. While this tale seems far-fetched, it highlights the cultural significance of crystals throughout history. Some believe crystals can channel spiritual energy, while others think they can enhance mental abilities and provide healing powers. It is possible that crystal skulls were created as conduits to other dimensions, allowing shamans to communicate with spirits and gain knowledge of the future. Regardless of their purpose, crystal skulls are still revered by some indigenous cultures who view them as sacred objects. However, skeptics argue the skulls were carved in the 19th century when fascination with the mystic was at its peak. By that time, European and American collectors were eager to possess relics from ancient cultures. The demand encouraged looters to plunder archaeological sites and sell the artifacts to the highest bidder. Scientific tests conducted in the early 1970s showed some skulls contain lead, an element not present in pre-Columbian times. This suggests they were crafted during the Victorian era when lead was commonly used in crystal mining. Analysis of the Mitchell-Hedges Skull found traces of lead along with industrial pollution that would not appear until the 20th century. These findings cast doubt on the authenticity of the skull, though its supporters argue that scientific testing is inconclusive and flawed. There are several explanations for how the lead contamination occurred. One theory suggests that the skull was crafted from recycled glass containing lead, which may account for the rough texture inside the skull. Proponents of this theory argue that the glass was salvaged from old perfume bottles, which would explain the lead residue. Unfortunately, further testing is required to confirm this hypothesis. It is important to note that not all crystal skulls have been tested. Many are held in private collections, and their whereabouts are unknown. Of those that have been studied, results are mixed. For example, the Parzival skull reportedly dates back to the 18th century based on scientific analysis. However, it is not clear whether this skull was made in Europe or the Americas. The Siberian skull was supposedly found near the Arctic Circle in northern Russia. Scientific tests suggested it may be ancient, but due to poor preservation, it is difficult to date with certainty. Skeptics point out that the skull appears to be crudely carved compared to other crystal skulls. However, they also admit that more research is needed to draw any firm conclusions. Meanwhile, the age and origins of the Clark and Brunswick skulls remain a mystery. Though both were purchased in the 1960s, their true age is unknown. Further testing is required to determine whether they are ancient artifacts or modern forgeries. The truth is, we do not know for sure what happened to these skulls. All we know is that they are fascinating artifacts that have captured the public's imagination. Despite their mysterious origins, crystal skulls continue to captivate us. Their strange appearance and alleged powers make them ideal subjects for movies, TV shows, and books. Are the crystal skulls ancient relics of lost knowledge, powerful spiritual tools, or simply clever forgeries that captured the world's imagination? The truth remains hidden within the cold, clear stone. And until all 13 are found, if they exist at all, the mystery of the crystal skulls will continue to haunt history. One thing is certain, though: their allure is undeniable. These enigmatic relics of the past have fascinated people for generations. As long as there are those who seek the secrets of the ancients, the legend of the crystal skulls will endure. So, what do you think? Are the crystal skulls genuine artifacts of lost civilizations, or are they nothing more than cleverly carved stones? Let me know your thoughts. I am the host. Thanks for watching.